Inside the Cave now brings you the official store to get all things Cave Crush and Inside the Cave at cavecrushshop.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cave Crush and like our Facebook page, Cave Crush Shop.
Hey yo! Y'all ready? It's time to go inside the cave.
Inside the cave.
With CB, Joe Dirt, Big Dog, Said, Cousin Lamar, International D, Cat, and Belly Veil featuring Roland and Charles Hurd. Inside the cave, mother.
Welcome back Inside the Cave, InsideTheCavePodcast.com. Go there to leave feedback per show if you like. Subscribe to us on iTunes as well. New followers, thank you. New listeners, thank you. Everybody who's found us, thank you. CaveCrushShop.com. Go there now. Use the promo code CAT and get the new Save the Kidney shirts for breast cancer awareness. 20% of the proceeds go to the ACS, All Cancer Society, all right? Check us out there. Keep listening to the show. Follow us on our social media. Leave feedback. I am CB at I'm the Real CB, and the sick Joe Dirt is in the building.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, that being Dirty Joe done caught up with him. But he's a soldier. He showed up.
Yeah, you lucky, man. I was playing 2K. I was going to call in sick.
Damn. Also with us today is a Southern baby, Big Dog.
What's up with it, man?
The Cleese Report podcast is doing good. You can check it out now on iTunes and coming to other platforms soon. Ro was here.
Oh no.
Aliens got your ass.
I would ask you to edit it and start over, but I know your editing is horrible. So what's up, people? Thanks for listening to the Cleese Report podcast. Appreciate you listening, and I hope I can give you some more dope stuff next week.
Coming to Tumblr soon.
Tumblr. Hey, and also Sid is with us.
Yo, what up?
All right, got a lot to talk about today. First of all, before we get started, let's do a moment of silence. We also have another sick guy inside the cave. Cousin Lamar is not here today, so we won't be doing listeners' feedback. So we're just gonna moment of silence for Cousin Lamar.
Like he died or something.
Nah, man, yeah, but you know, I'll play this Michael Jackson shit. I've been fucking with him all day. All right, let's get our new segment called You Got 30 Seconds. All right?
The first segment.
It's time for the warm-up.
The A block.
Let's work it out.
You got 30 seconds.
On Inside the Cave.
No man, I know what's on your brain. You probably hope it never would have.
Hey, for those who don't know, this is like a warm-up segment. What I do to get everybody loose and ready for the show. I'm just gonna ask them random questions from new subjects that I've heard about this week. All right, Joe.
Yo.
LeVar Ball has decided to homeschool his son, LaMelo, and take him out of high school. You heard about that, right? You have 30 seconds to name 7 players that went straight to the NBA from high school. Your clock starts right now.
Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant. What's the big goof ass dude that played for the Lakers? For Kobe, him too. Then Amari Stoudemire, yeah. Shit.
How many seconds he got, dog? I think he got about 5 seconds.
Paying attention.
I don't know. I'm working on something. Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, your clock can stop. You missed.
I get 10 extra seconds because I'm sick. Will, what's his name? Will Bynum.
Sid.
Andrew Bynum.
What up?
There you go.
All right, see if you can do better than Joe.
Yeah, Joe was awful. He was terrible.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade and LeBron James have reunited, but this time in Cleveland. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, and it feels so good, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Pause.
You have 30 seconds to name 5 famous Dwaynes. Your clock starts right now.
Dwayne Wayne. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Rudd. Hey, he played for Alabama. Hey, and shit, I don't know no more Dwaynes.
You don't need one?
What about Dwayne Bell?
Dwayne. Who? Dwayne Bell?
Yeah.
Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin. There you go.
You got it. Thanks to Roland. You got it.
What I win?
Dwayne Bell ain't famous.
Yeah. In the penitentiary, probably, but I mean, shit.
Hey, big dog.
What do you want?
50 Cent says Donald Trump offered him $500,000 to help bring Trump the black vote. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about it.
You have 30 seconds to name 5 black celebrities that support Trump. Your clock starts right now.
Shit. What's the woman name? Shit, I can't even think of her name.
Stacey Dash.
Yeah, Stacey Dash ass. Who else? What's the gospel single? Mary.
That's 2.
10 seconds.
Shit, I don't know.
Omarosa.
Yeah, Omarosa. Yeah, that's one I was talking about.
Milwaukee.
Females, right?
That's it. You terrible, dog. You terrible.
Shit happens, man.
Hey, Roland, you're pretty witty, so if you need help with all the other guys have been helping out anyway. I saw this on Instagram. This is a little bit different. Soulja Boy isn't a real soldier, right?
Right.
Dr. Dre isn't a real doctor, right?
Right.
You have 30 seconds to name 5 more analogies like this. If anybody want to help, you can help. But your clock starts right now.
Snoop ain't no dog. Damn, I was gonna use the Dr. Dre one.
Dr. J ain't no doctor.
CB ain't no showstopper.
All I got for you, CB, is Snoop.
Dr.
ain't
Pepper.
no producer.
Dr. Pepper ain't no doctor.
Right.
Shit.
Colonel KFC ain't no real colonel.
Sure ain't.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yep.
one.
Yep. I can't think of no more. What's one more?
I can't think of none.
There's a whole bunch of them.
I know. I'm brain freezing.
All right, that's it. The clock stops there.
Give us 2. Give us 2, CB.
Oh, I gotta look them up.
Oh,
Oh man.
I thought you had the answer.
No, man, I got a whole bunch of them, man, but I don't.
You
Hey,
ain't
who
got
wants-
the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answer.
Yeah.
Hey, Cat ain't show up yet.
Yeah, that's
Cat's here.
Cat,
what a Sister Soldier head rap on.
Yeah, since she ain't no sister, she ain't no soldier.
Cat.
Hi.
Amber Rose did her annual slut walk alongside her boyfriend 21 Savage. You heard about that, didn't you?
No, but what about it?
Okay, well, Amber Rose does his annual slut walk to protest women being slut shamed. So she does it every year. Now I think this might be the 3rd year she's done it.
Mm-hmm.
You have 30 seconds to name 7 sluts, and it's not restricted to the sluts that may be on this show. But be careful. Your clock starts right now.
I'm gonna use this time to tell you how silly this shit is. See, information in this day and age, in our time, in our country right now, so many trying things are happening, and you just asked me to name some sluts. I think everybody on earth has had a slut moment in their life. Doesn't mean it means they're a slut, But I don't know. CB, I have no answers because I try not to keep a Rolodex of sluts in my head.
Oh, come on, Cat. I would have just said Daniel Holland and left it alone. Damn, thanks a lot, Cat, for not participating. All right, here's the one for D. D ain't here, is he? Anybody want to answer this one? Last week, legendary icon Hugh Hefner died. You all have 30 seconds to name 5 women that Hugh Hefner may have slept with. The clock starts right now.
I think we're all gonna pass on that one.
Oh, okay. Wow. Nobody wants to name.
Hey, this is very foolish. What are you doing right now? What is happening?
He's an icon. That's what he's known for.
So why are you not asking or sharing relevant information about this icon? Why do we care about his old?
What else is he known?
I can name you something better.
What?
All the prevalent people who have been all the civil rights leaders that have been inside the Playboy Mansion. You name that.
Thank God they were there. You can't run no civil rights campaign without going to see at least a beautiful woman somewhere. I'm sure Hugh Hefner was loaning, giving them relaxation time.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, Kat, I don't support the man in no way, shape, or form. But he did.
I ain't never bought his album.
He gave a lot of money to the civil rights movement, supposedly. Even Dick Gregory, the famed Dick Gregory, praised him in his in that one dinner. Like I said, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Bill Cosby been through there, but a bunch of civil rights leaders been through.
Well, thanks guys for ruining my segment. I thought we were going to talk about some hoes, but you guys turned it political. Only got enough of that to talk about today. All right, that was You Got 30 Seconds. I thought we was going to have fun, but you guys don't like to have fun. Man, all I asked for, one slut. Just name one slut. All right, let's get this started.
How about that?
You can't prove it. All right, here we go. Around the cave.
Want to hear a hot take? It's time to go around the cave.
Kat, would you like to start first?
I just want to use my Around the Cave to remind people that every day isn't promised to us. And there are people, unfortunately, I feel like our president has made things so black and white that we forget about good and bad. We forget that there are good people out there and there are bad people. And we come across bad people all the time, and we're learning how to deal with people who are not as kind or not as compassionate. And twice over the past week, besides what happened in Las Vegas, the way the president behaved in Puerto Rico, I have a friend's mother who is in Puerto Rico right now, and the way she's speaking about it, the way she's hopeful, but it's dire down there. And I want to go back to there are good people and there are bad people, and it's just we should try really hard to be good people. We don't hurt people, we don't despite if we agree, disagree, we like it, we don't like it, like we shouldn't hurt people. And we should also do what we can to help people. So I don't want to get political, but I do want to say that there are people who need help that don't have voices that they haven't shown on television. I have a friend, she's collecting diapers for babies in Puerto Rico. Find a way that you can help, whatever is your passion. Find a way that you can help these people who have lost relatives or family members or friends who just went to a concert. I think it's more than just let's pray for them. I think anything we can do, any physical act we can do, anything we can say to try to help, we should do it. Nothing is too small. So, I'm very saddened by the events that have occurred these past couple of days, but I'm very proud of people for helping each other and for holding on to their faith and holding on to their hope and not allowing for what would seem like something that's impossible to get over to stop them from finding the light. So that's my 30 seconds.
All right, Z Big Dog, what you got?
Hey man, I'm gonna use mine to wish my baby girl a happy birthday today.
That's 13. Right. That's right. Thank you, and tell her happy birthday, and thank you for putting up with my kids last time.
She said she's waiting on her gift from you for putting up with your kids.
Yeah, tell her it's coming. I owe her one. All right, attaboy, dog. Joe Dirt.
I have nothing because you ain't gonna hear me no damn way.
Yeah. Yep. Even the magical engineer that I am, I can't even fix that, Joe. So yeah, that's good. Sid.
Yeah, I just want to use my time to send an RIP out and keep your people in your prayers and your thoughts of victims out there in Las Vegas, man. That's something truly unimaginable. You know, going out with your loved ones, trying to have a good time, and somebody do that to you. So I'm not going to get too much further into it than that. But yeah, I want to send an RIP out to the people who lost their lives.
All right, cool. Rolling.
It seems like the nation has, really had their minds opened and their hearts broken by the succession of tragedies that have happened with 3 hurricanes and an earthquake, as well as this tragedy in Las Vegas. I will take my time and speak on the latter. As we look at the news and we try to figure out what happened, and, as the media shapes the narrative, as they always do, let's always keep in mind that let's not always believe the story that's being told. We know that in many situations, people lose their lives, and, there's very traumatic for the people, whether they were just injured or whether they lost a loved one. And there's genuine hurt and pain that goes with that situation. But I know one thing is true, is that the media will turn a tragedy into something that fits their narrative or their agenda. So let's just, and I hate to use the word, but let's just stay woke, and let's not always believe the story that's being told. Because one thing I know for sure is that they're not going to call this white man a terrorist. And if the guy had brown skin and wore a headdress, this thing would be all over the news all day long about the person and not the event. Right now, we're talking about the people, but eventually we're going to have to deal with this domestic terrorism problem with these white men killing, hundreds, dozens of people. It's sad. That's my thing.
All right, I'm going to follow it up with, imagine, if you would, the setting is Brooklyn, right outside the Barclays, where Jay-Z is performing to a sold-out crowd and talking more about black excellence. And all of a sudden, shots are fired. Thousands among thousands are shot, and 50 are killed. What would the reaction be from the media? Would it be Brooklyn strong? Would it be pray for Brooklyn? Or would the media start to victim blame the hip-hop community?
Hip-hop has done more damage to black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years.
Your husband was a drug dealer. For 14 years, he sold crack cocaine. Talk about protecting black neighborhoods. Start at home.
If you think this is a terrible analogy to make, or think I'm reaching, look at the way America feels about white supremacists' violent protests compared to Colin Kaepernick's peaceful protests.
To say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
But what do I know? I just host a podcast. And that is my Around the Cave. All right, what's next?
Need some advice? Talk to the only woman allowed inside the cave. It's time for Cat's Corner.
Let's take this one kind of serious, guys. Monique. Cat, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I am finding rulers and measuring, and I can't make this stuff up. Right? I am finding rulers and measuring tapes in the bathroom near the shower after my 12-year-old leaves. Is this normal? Why would my 12-year-old care so much about his length at this age? Is this something I should make him aware of that I know or should I let my son continue to discover himself? Kat, what do you think as a mother of a once 12-year-old, I'm assuming?
I mean, yeah, 12-year-olds touch their penises a lot. And I don't want to give you the impression that there is something wrong with your child. It is totally normal. What I'm finding interesting, though, is that we went straight to he was measuring his dick. While that may be the obvious, it could very well be something else, because 12-year-old boys are also very odd. So I want to, preface my advice by saying maybe he's not using the ruler for what you think he's using it for. Should he be using it for that, then first thing I think you should do is ask him, hey man, why do you keep a ruler in the bathroom? Engage in conversation. Don't attack him, and listen to him and find out maybe he is measuring his dick. Maybe that is something that is important to him. And you can also let him know that you don't have to worry about that right now. It's not, I don't know, it's just growth. Your body is just going through changes. So I think you should take a very, understanding approach to it, because the girls do the same. Working in preschools, children are all the time not even understanding what they're doing. They're constantly touching their stuff and wanting to know what this is.
Wait, Kat, what you said girls do what? The same? What do they do? What are they measuring?
The same way. And I don't take rulers. They're not measuring things, but they're definitely looking at it, touching it, seeing what's going. I mean, it's your body. So you want to know what's going on with your body. I guess my advice is don't make it awkward. It's his body. He wants to figure something out. Don't make it seem like he's doing something wrong because he wants to, measure his dick. Like, I guess I'm not a guy. And I was going to ask you guys, like, did you guys ever, is that something guys do, young boys do? Do they care about the length of their dick?
Well, I was never cared about the length. I just knew I didn't choke that many girls, but I always kept their mouth full. Who said that? Oh, did I just do that? Man.
So take it serious.
Oh, man. All right, my bad.
I'm asking for real. It's men on the show. Hello. At that age, was the size of your penis something on your mind, or something that people were taught? Like I don't know. I was never a 12-year-old boy.
Some of you guys are still acting like 12-year-old boys. You want to answer that?
Size didn't matter. I was just trying to do something with it.
At 12? At 12, Joe?
At 12. I mean, shit, it's 12. I mean, what you mean at 12?
Okay.
So there you go. Joe had his dick out at 12. So,
Joe got his dick out now.
I said, just don't. I think we have a habit, especially as parents, when it comes to our children, to get uncomfortable and worried, and so many emotions flow through us when we come to the sexuality of our children, our children growing up. And we have to remember we were that age once too, and there's nothing, to me, wrong with it. And again, I think she should definitely talk to him about it and let him know, like, man, why are you bringing it in there? And if he seems uncomfortable about it, she can reassure him, like, sweetheart, if you feel in any way that you need to measure it to see what size it is, then, because I hate to assume, but this is probably about a chick too, because that's all 12-year-old boys. Like, that's the only person that could tell a 12-year-old boy your dick little, and he'll go home and measure it. It was some broad, some girl, some young little thought, like, oh, my last boyfriend had a 93-inch.
At 12? Wow.
Young girls. I mean, and it doesn't surprise me at 12, because that's the reality. We are a very over-sexualized population. And I just want to let you guys know, the guys who are gray sweatpants posting, like, there are young boys watching you, and you don't know what effect you doing this online has on these young boys.
I'm glad you brought that up, Kat. Like, never mind. You're so right on that. If me and you have never agreed on anything, we agree on that. Like, guys don't do that. Guys don't.
Yeah,
it's like, come on.
It's kind of immature.
Guys don't do that. Like we objectify women. That's what guys do. You don't objectify you. You don't let women objectify you. Like the guys don't do that, man. Like, what world are we living in now? Like, my man was just in the club and he told me, he said, bro, you remember back in the day, Cat, you can feel this. He said, man, remember back in the day, we'll come in celebrity VIP and we'll just stay in our section and everybody would just look at us. He said, that's how we used to do. He said, now the girls got the VIP section like that. They go into the VIP section, just them and they girls, and they dance upon each other, and all the guys are hanging above the VIP like groupies with cell phones trying to record the girls. They said the bitches are running shit. And by the fact that guys are posting gray sweatpants and beard gangs and all this stuff, trying to objectify themselves to get a woman's attention, like what part of the game is that? Well, I'm 37, I don't know. But back to this letter. But I agree with you, Kat, on that. I totally agree with you on that.
I mean, we got to be careful the example we set for our children. So, like I said, my advice to her is to talk to her son. And that's something that sounds so simple yet so difficult to do. Don't yell at him. Don't cuss at him. Don't tell him he ain't shit. Don't tell him his daddy ain't shit. Just ask him what he's doing with the ruler. If he seems uncomfortable about it, just reassure him that his body is going to continue to grow. His body is going through changes, the feelings that he's had. And I mean, I hate to be misogynistic like this, but I do think there should be a guy to talk to him about this as well. Like, you don't have a penis. So I'm not very sure if you know what he may be experiencing. So that may be something that a mentor, your male relative, someone that you trust enough to give him quality advice about what's happening with his changing body. But rest assured, sweetheart, this is natural. This is the age where young people start to discover themselves sexually. So don't be afraid of it. Just, work through it with your boy through communication.
Yeah, he's just being a little boy. That's all it is.
All right. Big Dog, you got anything on this?
Nah, man, I don't need to add nothing to that. Cat did a good job on it.
He's lucky he just measuring himself. He ain't trying to stick it inside some chick.
I'm just saying, as a mom who has a teenage son, when he was in his younger years, like, my towels, this dude would and I'm sure he was exploring. That's totally cool, but you ain't got to use all the towels in the linen closet. Like, that was my that was my ruler moment with him, where it was like, wait a minute, man, what's going on? I know you having different feelings and this, that, and the other. You can talk to me or talk to Dad about it, but just know, that it's not a secret what you're doing. It's natural. I know what's happening. And, if you ever want to talk to me about it, let me know, but stop using all my goddamn towels. So if she needs to tell him, leave me fucking room.
I'm trying to think.
What are we doing? The cat jacking off on all the towels, throwing them in the hamper?
To be very honest, I never opened them up to see what was in them, or, I would just I just good, but it's like, damn, you can't go through, all the face towels, my nigga. Have some.
Hey, Cat, did he have that crazy look on his face when he came up?
Never mind.
I'm trying to think, man. 12. Hey, Roller, where's Rolling at?
Somewhere trying to say something.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to think. 12 years old. What was me and Mike? Me and Mike was in all type of mess back then. So I think we had went past that phase, man. I think we were just going to the corner store, buying dirty videos. That's what we was doing. Hey, at 12 years old, I remember my grandfather and my mom, they was catching all type of, this is a different age though, different settings, but they was catching all type of Playboys and Hustlers and porno movies all underneath my bed. I don't know why. Do kids still hide that shit underneath their bed, or they don't have to do it no more because they
hide it on their phones now?
Okay.
Underneath the bed. Oh.
Yeah, hide it. Yeah, right between the mattress. That's what that used to be the hiding spot. Like, nobody's gonna find that.
That was a great letter though, CB, because that was a realistic question from him. It wasn't silly. That's great advice. I think somebody out there, with a young son could learn something from that.
Well, she actually asked me, and I was like, I don't know why you asking me. I just started laughing. So, I was like, hey. I'm like,
you, Mr. Pay for the pussy. I would never ask you anything like that.
I never said that for a 12-year-old. 12-year-old don't have no money. All right.
You might want to buy some snacks or something.
All right. That was Cat's Corner. Please, if you got more questions, just send them in Inside the Cave Podcast at gmail.com. All right.
Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and Cave Crush interviews. Inside the Cave. Now that's how you podcast.
Inside the Cave.
Are you enjoying this episode of Inside the Cave? Well, get your ass up and rate us on iTunes. Inside the Cave Podcast. 5-star us or kill yourself and start over.
Get the latest in cave fashion at cavecrushshop.com. That's cavecrushshop.com.
Follow Inside the Cave on Instagram at Inside the Cave and at Cave Crush for the hottest women on the planet. Like Inside the Cave on Facebook, Inside the Cave Podcast, and follow Inside the Cave on Twitter at Cave Crush. Inside the Cave. Thought-provoking ignorant guy talk with special guests and Cave Crush interviews. See something effed up? Talk your shit, kill yourself, and start over on Inside the Cave.
Donald Trump kill himself to start over. After I seen him down in Puerto Rico shooting paper towels to the people in the crowd instead of just handing them out or talking to people and stuff.
That dude.
I mean, he got some real serious issues, man.
Hey.
I am so sorry. I missed it. Are you sick, my love? You sound like Red Fox. Are you okay? You all right? You not feeling well?
No, I'm good. It's just the weather and my allergies got my throat.
She said Red Fox.
I'm being very tough. But you're right. He should. What the hell are they gonna do with paper towels for real though? Like what are they picking up? What spills?
Well, they're supposed to go out there and soak up the water and shit.
Yeah.
With paper towels, it wasn't like a loaf of bread or a can of.
But he was shooting baskets though. That's what's funny. He was shooting baskets.
Look, his team is so retarded that they don't even know that
like
was horrible.
I don't think they care. That's the thing. They don't care.
Right. I think they don't have anything, so I guess a roll of paper towels might, it's very tough out there.
The paper towels was fine if he would have been handing them to him. He was throwing it at him like they was getting free T-shirts at the game or some shit.
Yeah. Right, that's what it looked like.
Like he's either we already know he's the biggest moron on the planet, but aside that, like everybody on his team needs to be fired. Every other president that has to go to a national disaster or something, they're always finding somebody to hug and touch hands and.
But you're missing the point, Roland.
Don't nobody want to hug that motherfucker, man.
No, Roland. He said it. He said, look, how many people you guys lost? You only lost 16 people? He said, this is not like Katrina where thousands were dead. He said, you guys only lost 16 people. He said it to them.
I know. He said, you messing up my budget.
Yeah, he said, you messing up my budget.
Is that, unfortunately, because he is the leader, the president, his job is to take care of people. And as we know, if you don't take care of somebody, usually they find somebody else to take care of them, or they figure out a way to do it themselves, thus leaving you useless. So to me, it's like if I was J-Lo and our president was doing everything he could to support a country I came from, I would send my $75,000. I would make sure my family was okay. I would contribute as I could. But because he did absolutely nothing, he left her and other, people who are not even from Puerto Rico now privately give this money. And if they're giving it privately to rebuild this island, what do they need him for? And my fear is that someone who's not an ally of us with as much power and money says, well, you know what, we'll help you rebuild them. It's like you're creating a situation where you already don't have the support of the people, but then you don't help people. So it's like you're making it so they have no choice. And now the United States is like you're fending for yourself. And so if Puerto Rico can rebuild on its own, with its own people, with its own money, with private money, then what do they need to be a part of the United States for?
I think Joe might know this better than me, but somebody has to look this up. I believe there's some type of law that hinders other countries from actually helping Puerto Rico. That's one of the issues that they're having. They want that law temporarily lifted so they can get aid. But I
think he did, though, didn't he?
Thought, I'm sorry.
I think he did lift that, didn't he?
I'm not sure. That's why, but I know there's a rule or a law, and they were asking to get it lifted. I don't know if
he did that much, but he was kind of late to the party. But he did.
Oh, okay.
And there is no law saying that I can just put my money in as an independent builder and rebuild Puerto Rico and own most of the island. So
right, but not another country.
It's just a detrimental move. It was a very poorly executed, dumb move to make as somebody who, already is not very respected. And I think he was trying to kind of cut his eyes, at some brown people again. But I think this, will backfire as it has in his past. So,
Kat, he just found out that we even have anything to do with Puerto Rico. He just found that out.
But that should not. We need to stop letting this dude's ignorance surprise us. Like, I don't know why we still be thinking like he didn't know that or he didn't go there. Like, we should just start getting to the fact that this dude does not know, y'all. Like, he just does not know. And he doesn't even know how to have compassion. He doesn't even know like the basic human emotions of sadness or, as your president, wouldn't you be so terrified if something, a part of your, the land you are supposed to be leading, if something happens to it, it's just like I said, just a poor move. And, I think it definitely will backfire his platform in the end.
Hey,
let me add this too to what you just said. What I find interesting, and I know nobody wishes this to happen, but I did see, I believe it was J-Lo, Flo Rida, and what's that other dude from down there, big rapper? They were taking their own money and donations and trying to rebuild. If they actually succeed at this, let's take worst case scenario. America doesn't help. Trump don't release no funds, and they get this thing halfway rebuilt. Doesn't that send a powerful message, not in the negative, but to the positive, to the Black community, that we can use our own dollars to rebuild the hood, or not even calling it the hood, but our own neighborhoods. One of my biggest gripes about us as a people when it comes to community is not just that we leave the community. I understand when your income rises, you go, you upgrade from a $60,000 house to $150,000. I get all of that. But what I don't understand is why we leave our neighborhoods in such peril for the people who's still there. We can use our own money to build stores, to build businesses and daycare centers and grocery stores and things like that.
Sometimes it takes a tragedy to bring people together to think like that, but it shouldn't.
No, but it's just sad that it has to take.
Sometimes they won't even allow that to happen, Roland.
That Kenneka Jenkins is his prime example of, even when it's the worst case scenario, we still can't come together. We too busy investigating tape, fast forward, and slowing down audio. Like, we couldn't come together on that.
Yeah, that's true. And did you see the main guy that was supposedly helping the older lady that lost her daughter? He actually turned and went against her about a couple $1,000. I was so disgusted. My wife is horrified. She's like, how dare you call yourself helping these people, and all of a sudden you want money because y'all took time off y'all job to protest that hotel. I mean, it's said that our mentality is always trying to get a come up, man.
It's always about the money.
Yeah. Professional protesters. That's what they want to be.
Yep. I I want to first of all, before I can talk about something, I want to give this guy, my coworker, Kill Yourself and Start Over, for his debit card not working to try to get a 75-cent pop out the machine. Now look here, if you know, once your card gets under $5, you know that shit ain't gonna work. You had no business trying to hold up that line like you did, swiping that card, trying to get a 75-cent pop using your debit card. You know your card was fucked up. You had no business. I mean, come on, man. 75 cents. You ain't got 75 cents on your debit card, man. You ain't got 75 cents. You know better than that, man. You had
Did
no.
you buy him a soda, CB?
Huh?
Did you buy him a soda?
Hell no.
Hey, listen. I'm well aware of someone coming up short on a debit card, but I will know this: that he ought to be slapped for not realizing he knew damn well there wasn't 75 cents on that card.
I get an alert anytime that account goes under $20. Once it goes under $20, that motherfucker say you get an email, you get an alert, $5, $10. They let you know. This man had no.
You don't even listen. You don't even need no alerts, Negro. If you ain't got 75 cents, you know it.
Hey, but look, I'm not trying to judge nobody's accounts, but he had no business holding up that line, steady swiping that card. Man, it got to be something wrong with the machine. Hey, man, don't you come over here with that shit. It's about 6 people here trying to buy a pop. Come on, man. Hold up the line, man. Hey, man, I think
they say you knew when you swiped it.
Hey, he said, hey, man, I think the machine broke, man. I think we better call somebody. Man, the next person came.
That shit do happen sometimes, though, bro. I tried to use my card one day. That motherfucker wouldn't do nothing. I mean, that motherfucker looking crazy as hell. I'm like, what the fuck going on?
Hey, you know how they say you look at your account and it be like $103? And you look at it again, it be minus 25.
I tell you what's fucked up. You swipe the damn card, then you be looking at the card like it's going.
Oh, that's what he was doing. Hey, hold on. He started blowing on it like it was a Nintendo cartridge. It gotta be the
spending limit. You know, some cards say you can only spend a certain amount in one day. Maybe he spent $400.
Our break was 9 a.m., man. He had no business doing that. Like I said, I ain't trying to judge nobody's account. I just hate that you kept the line, made that line go. I was like a traffic jam, man, waiting on you blowing on your card and wiping it down with your shirt and all that shit for 75 cents.
I bet he was looking at that motherfucker, flipping it over.
Wiping it. He's smacking it up, flipping it and rubbing it down, man.
Hey, is this the right card?
It still ain't working.
Hey, let me call my bank account right now.
For 75 cents.
Man, that shit embarrassing like a motherfucker though, bro.
Especially because it was 75 cents. That's the reason. Hey, and also, man, I don't know what the hell I'm watching right now. I thought I was watching the WNBA game. Go Sparks, Candace Parker. Hope you get your 3rd title. I just don't know what the hell am I watching? I mean, Maya Moore and Candace Parker look beautiful. These other women look scary. You mean there's women that look like this? Oh my God.
Have you seen that Britney chick before?
Oh my God. Let me tell you something, man. You remember it used to be a joke back in the day. We said, man, I love it. If I had to go to jail, I'd like to go into a female jail. No, I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. I better be careful because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but my God, these women look scary, man. These some scary ass. I thought it was some niggas out there. I didn't know.
Hey. Don't forget like Imus now.
He look like hoodlums.
Happy-headed hoes.
No.
I have to get you suspended.
they look like hoodlums, man.
I mean, they're on their job. Their job is to sweat, run up and down the court, be athletic. They can't put like contacts in and put their hair like they're playing a sport. So of course they're not going to be as appealing to
Cat, women's volleyball don't look like this.
It's a different sport.
Jeez.
You're doing different things.
Man, I don't care if you shoveling shit or jackhammering a hole in the ground. Pretty's pretty.
Yeah.
He got the doll up.
There you go. That a boy rolling. That's stole the words right out of my mouth. Seriously. That's exactly.
I don't care what you could be hanging from a silly grate.
Cat, you wouldn't look like that out here.
Pretty.
Candace Parker don't look like that. Candace Parker, Maya Moore, they look. I'm like, all right, these guys. Whew.
Who's that? That other one that signed with Jay-Z, Alexis Sky or something like that.
Skylar Diggins. Alexis Sky is an Instagram model. Yeah, porn star model. Roland.
That was a Freudian slip.
That's
who I meant. That Skylar Diggs or whatever. Yeah.
Stay off Instagram, kids. All right, what else? Anybody else got anything for Kill Yourself Start Over?
Yeah, man, I got one.
Okay.
Joe's voice. Hey, Joe, your voice need to kill itself and start over.
Sounds like
it. Because when I can talk, I'm getting there. I'm gonna get you back.
Oh,
I just hope you wasn't hanging out with Usher this weekend.
Oh, come on, bro.
Got a little something.
All right,
hey, man, ask y'all a question, man. Have you seen the headline where they're trying to say LeVar Ball is the worst sports dad ever?
Yeah.
Hey, that's some bullshit, bro.
Yeah, they should kill themselves and start over.
Yeah,
man, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, but I will say this. He not making it look good.
Hey, let me tell you something, Roland. We don't have to adopt that slave mentality. That man sit there, he raised his boys, they stayed out of trouble. He got one son that went second in the draft. Even if he a fucking bust, he done made it. Because they contracts are guaranteed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, don't get it twisted. I'm in 100% behind somebody doing their own thing and directing their path. What I mean by is not that he cares, but there's a certain tact that I think he lacks. For instance, just take the shoes themselves. If I'm coming out with a shoe line, the objective is to get the shoe out.
Yeah, but Gucci doesn't do that. Gucci comes out $1,000.
No. You was already rebutting me before I got done. I ain't saying nothing about the price. I just
where you going with it, Ro?
You talking about him wearing everybody else's shoe?
Yeah, but it ain't even. It's bigger than that because that's just a way to criticize. I don't even mind that. What I'm saying is that you sold us on this shoe. You set your price. You got people who even anteed up, big time people then anteed up, saying, "Listen, I respect what the man is doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is." All I'm saying is, bruh, it's almost November. Can we see a shoe?
But that has nothing to do with him being a bad dad, though, Roland.
No. What I'm saying is that when you play this game, that's why I said his tack is off.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with him being a dad, though. It's business. He might be a bad business.
I'm not saying he's a bad dad. What I'm saying is that you're going to garner that criticism when you're out there and you're bold and boisterous.
Okay, that's the terrible. Ro, you know I respect you. Hey, I like listening to you. But that's a terrible excuse. We got a president that said he could see himself sleeping with his daughter. This guy is just trying to get his kids to the NBA.
But that don't make it. That doesn't make what the president said right. All I'm saying is
I know, but how can he be considered the worst dad?
Because he's black. Because he's black.
That's terrible, man.
Like I'll give you the for instance.
The only examples people have is about.
I mean, put it like this: just because he may have made one bad decision as far as on a business deal,
that doesn't make him.
Trying to sell a product before he actually got it. But as far as him being bad with his kids, man, I don't see how people can knock that.
You missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we're all in agreement that of course this man ain't the worst sports dad ever. But what I am saying is that that's going to be their perception. Anybody who has kids, especially boys, what do we say? What do we have to say to our young people growing up in a big city when you deal with police? Should we have to live in a world that we have to say that? Of course not. But as black people, you're cheating your kids if you don't teach them, put your hands on the steering wheel, be respectful, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And all I'm saying is that this dude can do whatever he wants. It's his freaking kids. Who are we to say anything about how he raises his kids? What I'm saying is when you put it out there, the white folks is going to criticize you. That comes with the territory. So they're going to call him names. They're going to criticize him. And all I'm saying is he could have navigated this thing better with just a little bit more tact in about 3 or 4 different areas. That's all. That's all I was saying. Because ain't nothing wrong with homeschooling your kid. And ain't nothing even wrong with pulling your son off the team because you don't like the coach. It's just the way he do it. That they're, you know what I mean? That he's going to criticize.
He making moves like a boss. He's not adapting the workers' mentality. He's basically saying,
the choir, bro. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just explaining why they're doing it. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing. I'm saying this is the reason why they're calling him that. That's all I was saying. And if he didn't want them to, I know he don't care, but if he didn't want to be criticized, then he could have done some things differently. That's all I'm saying.
I don't even think he really care about being criticized.
Oh, I know he don't.
You think he gonna cost his kids some money?
Oh, absolutely. I think his eligibility is shot. I think that's me.
He can play overseas for 1 year after high school, like Brandon.
They said you're breaking up real bad, bro.
There's ways around it.
I know, but let's okay. This is what I was thinking. Say it, and you could appreciate this. I believe that it's a conspiracy. I think the dude knows exactly what he's doing.
Me too.
I think this is a calculated move, so he can take the blame for it. But I believe he never wanted his son to go to UCLA because he believes it's a wasted stop. It's almost like his oldest son. What did he really accomplish? Because you have to go for 1 year if you decide to go, right?
Well, let me expand on that. I think he's trying to downplay his son's stock so the Lakers can be able to draft him, because he always said all 3 of his boys are going to play for the Lakers. So how do you do that?
But he has to go to Italy though. That's the
he probably looking at it from the standpoint of if his son is going to play, he's going to get paid to play. He's not gonna let his son be used up. You know what I'm saying, with that bullshit rule. You know what I'm saying, like it's an amateur sport.
Okay, are we still in
his middle son though?
Hey, are we still in Kill Yourself and Start Over? Or are we?
We could go to the next segment, but to answer Joe's question, everybody knows his youngest son is trash. That's why they don't talk about him.
That's the middle son who trash.
The middle son. I'm sorry. Banks said the middle son.
You like to pump the middle son, huh?
Basically, they don't even talk about him.
No, they don't. They don't even acknowledge him too tough.
Nope. I know he got to be feeling some type of way because he bought the youngest boy Lambo.
Hey, Sid.
What up?
We're watching the WNBA finals.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like Candace Parker and Maya Moore playing against 8 other niggas out there.
What that boy Don Imus say, man? Them some nappy-headed hoes.
They said, man,
y'all need to cut that shit out, man.
Y'all know y'all wrong, man. Y'all is wrong.
I mean, it's like,
damn, say don't be co-signing that motherfucker, man. You been trying to start that shit the whole show.
They said you can get suspended like Imus.
Oh man, I said it too. I mean, wow.
God damn.
I mean, man. And Cat trying to say, oh, they're just doing their job. Hey, volleyball players don't look like that. No. Wow. Man. Feel sorry for whoever got the
What's next? Hey, man, don't do this. What's next?
All right.
Hey, Roland. Hey, I got one more LeVar Ball question.
Yeah.
So, if his sons flame out, conspiracy-wise, you think he's just gonna go and take the downfall? I shouldn't have pushed him so hard. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like I said, he already knows the middle son is butt garbage. And I think he's really I don't think he's downplaying the youngest son because he think he's good, but he's trying to trick him, you know what I mean, get his stock low. I think if he goes to college, he's going to get exposed. He's really not that good.
His defense is awful.
And I don't think his shot is that great.
But look,
what's funny is I think the middle son got the better shot.
But look, Lonzo, what was it? LeVar? Which one is it? Lonzo? Who's the one play for the Lakers? I get them mixed up.
Lonzo.
He ain't good. He's not good.
It don't matter though.
He is going to be. So his dad has got.
I mean, it don't matter to who. You keep saying it don't matter, but how you gonna be a professional basketball player and not be good? I mean, what part don't matter?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he's already drafted, right?
That's
They contracts are guaranteed. I mean, true enough, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, go to the next level and get the endorsement deals and all that, yeah, he got to be good.
Well, no, see, here's what's going to happen, dog, is that the youngest boy got 2 years of high school. Let's say that he don't do this shit that he just did and he lets this thing play out, right? 2 years of Zoe in the pros, he's going to get exposed. He's not really, he going to flame out. And now the youngest boy's stock is shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man. I think it's a little premature to be judging. You know what I'm saying?
And then you gotta also, and you also gotta think, all right, 2 years in the pros and he ain't doing good. I mean, you can't write the man off like it ain't nowhere in hell he can get better and improve upon his game. So just his name alone, he gonna always get a contract from somebody. He just ain't gonna get that payday like he wants to. But he'll always stick around on somebody's bench or, $5 million a year, $7 million a year here and now.
Well,
no, man, if they put the right players around him.
No, man.
I'm not saying they're going to run him out the league. What I'm saying is that it's going to get the young boy's stock low because he's not going to light the league up like they want him to.
Look, everybody keeps talking about he's a poor man's Jason Kidd or he's a Jason Kidd. Look here, that guy is a poor man's Sean Livingston. All right, I'm telling you. He is, and that's nothing against Sean Livingston, because Sean Livingston will eat him alive on his worst day.
But Sean Livingston got experience too. But Sean Livingston was raw before he hurt his leg. When he broke his leg, he was on his way.
I'm not talking about that Sean Livingston. I'm talking about this current Sean Livingston. That is the best you can be.
I thought you meant bull Sean Livingston.
No, I'm talking about if he returns. If he ends up being a good player, that's his peak. He will not be better than Sean Livingston. Is Sean Livingston a Hall of Fame player? Will Sean Livingston, the current Sean Livingston, be the number 2 draft? Like, come on, man. Like his LeVar Ball got his kid into the NBA. That's what he did. He hyped his kid up to be drafted into the NBA, and he found a sucker to draft him. That's what it was. He found a sucker. Magic was a sucker. All like it is. All right. That guy can't dribble. He can't dribble.
He can't dribble either?
He can't dribble. That's the first. You telling me you're going to get past Russell Westbrook with that weak-ass hesitation move? That's it. He don't have a crossover. I watched him. He don't have a crossover.
He better stop wearing them Kobe's, too, before he messes his ankles up.
Damn.
That's the best thing he's doing.
Well, he better not put on that big baller shit for you.
No, he keep twisting his ankles. Every time he wear the Kobe's, he twists his ankle. I'm dead ass serious. Look it up.
Hey, let's bring him in real quick. Let's get into this Big Herd Sports Update.
The Big Herd Sports Update with Charles Hurd on Inside the Cave.
All right, Hurd, we got a lot to talk about. Hey, what's going on, fella? First of all, explain to me this new All-Star game rules, because I really don't know what's going on here. So the captains are picking the teams now? What is this?
Yeah, they just have captains picking the teams, so they got rid of the East and West type of thing. I mean, when you really think about it, it's the NBA is a free-for-all, what it's coming down to it anyway. The East and West type of thing was just trying to see which ones were better, but I mean, you're starting to get all these superstars sticking together on one team. How lopsided will the game be, really, when you really look at it. So the NBA had to do something. A lot of people are calling this the LeBron James favor that the NBA is doing. I think the NBA just wanted to make it a little bit better.
How they figure that's a LeBron James favor?
Because it works out. They say that it works out best for LeBron James just because he won't be able to, or he will be able to challenge, the rest of the players to come and play, because he was thinking about sitting out the rest of the All-Star games when it came down to it. So I guess this makes it a little bit more interesting for him.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, shit. The All-Star game was garbage anyway. I might actually watch it now.
Well, I'm trying to ask a question though, but so the leading vote getters pick the whole team, like, so nobody.
The voters are going to pick the captains. The captains, so they're still going to have the fans per se involved. I think the fans pick like
the starters, right?
10% or something like that. I don't know of who's going to be on the list. But they do, Big Dog, you're right. They do pick the starters as well. They vote the starters into the game. But as far as picking a team, they're going to vote. So the fans will be able to vote for 2 captains along with the players. Can vote for 2 captains to pick the teams out of who had basically the most votes of everybody collectively together. So it's not so much of like if you're on the East, you got to stay on the East. So like basically LeBron James could pick a player. It's like a pickup game, you know. So like if you got 15 people out there, you know, you pick the best 10 players that's out there. So for players on the East and LeBron's, players on the West, LeBron's on the East, he can pick one of those players off the West to play with him. So that's basically how it's going to go.
Yeah. I don't know.
It should be interesting though.
I'm old school.
They just stole the NHL. That's what the NHL do.
It's exactly what it is. So it's like just like the NHL. The format will also be used, I believe, by the NFL coming up this year as well.
Who cares?
So it's gonna be. So they're just trying to get the fans more involved. If you notice, the last couple of years, man, how many people really watch? You know, the Pro Bowl for the NFL. I know me personally, I don't like to watch it anymore because it made no sense, and it was always in Hawaii except for last year, where like it, nobody was in the stands, and it was you knew what they were going to go out there and do. So maybe if they switch it up, it's going to give you a little bit more excitement to watch something about it.
I think with the NBA though, I think they were doing this because they have no story going there. I think the year before they had Kobe's retirement. Last year was KD and Westbrook's. Could they play together on the All-Star team? Now they don't have a story this year. I mean, four Warriors have been All-Stars before. I mean, there's really no story now for us. I guess it's the reason for doing it because they need a story.
Well, they got Kyrie and LeBron.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. And I for sure. I mean, what type of story would it be if you had, you had those 2 guys basically picking against each other when it came down to it? But that would be an interesting story as well. I think if LeVar Ball does halfway decent in the season, I think they're going to have him out there for sure, just because of the name and how everything else.
No. Lonzo Ball will not be on anybody's.
Lonzo Ball. Sorry about that.
He
will. Trust me, he will. He's too popular for people not to vote for him.
Look here. There's no way that guy deserves to be on an all-star team. I'm not even sure.
I didn't say he deserved it. A lot of people don't deserve it.
He shouldn't even be on the rookie game. He shouldn't even be in a rookie game. That guy is not. There's no way in the world Lonzo Ball should be an all-star. There's no way. This can't happen. That can't happen.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
Hey, I understand what you're saying, but it's all about popularity in this day and age too, though. Like you got to remember, like this guy, he has people going out there for him, supporting him. So I believe he's going to make it. He's going to make it somewhere on the All-Star. I guarantee you that one.
I sure hope not. All right, what else we talking about? Hey, what's up with Ezekiel Elliott? So what's up? Is he playing now or what? What's going on?
He is playing until I think coming up this week. He has to go back and they're going to make a decision on if they uphold his. I think he hit the ruling for him to be able to play the rest of the year or not. But if they uphold it and say that he's supposed to be suspended for the rest of the year, then the Cowboys going to have to bring out the backup running back and have him play. Of course, that's going to be a sad news for the Cowboys.
It's sad news for me because he's on my fantasy team.
Well, you should have known going into it. But he's most definitely. I think for sure that they're not going to uphold the ruling that he can continue to play. So I believe that he will be suspended. I think the Cowboys kind of knew that as well. They wanted him to be in there the first 4 games of the year. So
you know what I don't
look out for
understand?
that.
Well, at my job, if I get in trouble, and you know what, I don't even know if they do this anymore, but it used to be, if I get in trouble and then I get away with it, my union helps me get away with it. If my boss tried to keep pressing the issue with it, they had a word for that. What they call that, dog? They had a what they call that? Like, not witchcraft, but what they call that when you like witch hunting? They can't like this.
Yeah,
this
but
like
this was different though because he filed an appeal. He filed an appeal to for the whole situation. So the one thing, the difference between like your job and a union and where he's at is that the NFL itself acts as a governing body itself. So basically, you hold yourself. It's kind of like the military, So like, we have the law outside the land, and then you have the law of the military. So like, if you do something, it could not be like outside of the military. They could say, okay, we're not going to charge you for it. We didn't find enough evidence. But if the military says, listen, you did this wrong, we think that is wrong and against the code of the military, they can adjust their own punishment to you. As long as you're inside the military, you're subject to the UCMJ. But when you're inside the NFL, you're subject to the NFL laws, as long as it's bylaws, as you say, as long as you're a member of the NFL Association. So that's where they're getting them at, So as long as this guy is playing in the league, if he doesn't like it, he could quit anytime he wants to, but he's leaving millions of dollars on the table. So that's where that whole thing comes into. I get what you're saying. I understand. But your job has to abide by, federal laws and everything else, unless they have bylaws that they can do, but they can't, suspend you without pay unless I'm assuming that you've broken any of those rules or laws.
Man, I think the NFL got the worst union
ever.
I don't even see why they got a union. You got a union and then you give all the power to Goodell. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, the union guy actually works for Goodell, so that's the funny part about it when it comes down to it. But that's a totally different story for a different day when it comes down to how their situation is set up.
Hey, quick comment though, dog. You say they got the worst union. This agreement that they working under right now, with Goodell got all the power. They agreed to this.
That's why
they can turn it down.
That's why we say it's the worst union.
That's what I'm saying.
but the players agreed to this.
That's because
the players are the union.
That's because they wanted their money.
So I can't blame DeMar Smith.
No. I'm not blaming him. His job is to enforce the rules that are in place.
No.
I'm blaming the players for being so weak and money hungry till they willing to accept anything. They weak,
but
man.
You know what? No, dog. They shouldn't even brought They shouldn't have brought that contract to the players to vote on. You know how that go. They shouldn't even bring no contract like that to vote on, where one person gets to govern everything. Why would you bring that contract to me?
The thing is, why did they approve it? They should have never voted for that shit.
I know, but they shouldn't even. If I'm electing you to negotiate, you shouldn't even brought that contract to me. That shouldn't even be
responsibility.
They got to bring it to him. They got to bring it to him. CB, you got to think you're working for somebody. At the end of the day, you still working for somebody.
If he wouldn't have brought that contract to them, if he didn't bring that contract back to them, and they found they like
you know what the other issue is too, guys.
Hold on.
Side of money.
Let me give you an example.
Gotta bring it back.
Let me give you an example. I'm negotiating a contract for my job. You guys know where I work at. I'm on the negotiating committee. If I come back on after negotiating the whole summer and come back and say, yeah, hey, we're getting a $25,000 signing bonus. All right, cool, let's sign. Yeah, we're losing our health care. We're losing $5 off our pay and everything, but we're getting $25,000. Why would I even bring that contract to us? Why would I do that?
Because you have no choice.
I'm on the negotiating committee. Why? I'm on a negotiating committee.
It just, look here.
You don't bring that contract to those people.
If you're going to work for somebody else, you can go in there and try to negotiate the terms of your employment.
Dog, they're not working together. He doesn't work for them. They are negotiating partners. They are partners. You're not
hearing me.
Not partners. He works for the players.
Okay.
Well, can I? I'm in the union, and I understand where CB's going with it. What he's saying.
Yeah, I thought Dog was too, Roland.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I just don't fucking agree with you.
I mean, because he got a point. He has a point.
He has no point.
But
because whether you like that contract or not, if the majority of them do like it, then it is what it is.
Well, here's
you got to get them to
before they went into the negotiation, they said that they wanted less practices with pads, and some other shit. So he takes that information, he goes into negotiation. What happened was, it's just like my job is always trying to get us to go on this what they call 2-tier. We ain't falling for it. So what they did was they slipped in, well, we'll just run everything through Goodell. And they was like, oh, okay, it don't matter as long as we get this, this, and this. And the majority of the players agreed on it because the majority of the players aren't always in trouble. Until Tom Brady shit, none of them could have ever fathomed that a regular person that does not have any trouble with the law would even get in trouble, would even have to go before Goodell.
The problem is when you come back with a contract, all the employees see is the money.
Exactly.
Some of them look at the healthcare, and that's it. They don't even take interest in nothing else. You can put all the bullshit you want to put into that contract, and then when some shit pop off, everybody looking shocked.
Exactly, I agree with you.
The other thing is too, guys, is that I agree with you guys on most of this stuff. The one thing that you guys got to really think about too is that in the negotiating times, in the times that they are doing this negotiating, the players are mostly somewhere in the off season. A lot of the guys that are going out there and doing the stuff and negotiating, because each team has a representative that is part of whatever they're the players' reps for the union or whatever you want to call them. So when they go up there and when they're talking, with the head negotiator or the NFL Players Association representative himself, it's a contract that is almost like a bill that goes into, Congress or whatever, and they put some good stuff in there, but you got to take some bad stuff along with it. And some of these guys, they barely read their own contract. As long as they see the stuff that they really wanted, or the things like Big Dog said that they wanted to see in there, which is usually money, they can give a damn about anything else. And that's where they get in trouble. That's where they get in trouble. That's where they get in trouble at, because like a lot of the people say, it's like 1% of the NFL that really gets in trouble all the time. But some of those guys who never thought they were going to get in trouble, that run into trouble, now they're starting to see the bad side of the contract. And it's sad because they won't be able to get out of it for a long time.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Excuse me. When they do the contracts, it's not really for the current players. It's for the future players. So like Ezekiel Elliott, he didn't vote on this contract.
Right.
So like you said, they looking for the money. Players, they career only lasts like 3 years?
Yep.
Yeah, 3.5 years. Yeah, 3.5 years.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about what happens in the future. They just want to get their money now.
All you guys sound like some management cocksuckers. I'm disappointed.
You can call it what you want, CB, but the way this shit work is, you go in there, you ask for X, Y, and Z. They already know what they're gonna give you, and you try to get as much as you can.
Yep.
But 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get everything that you want.
Exactly.
That's just damn well you can get everything you want. Yeah.
And even on a job like I got, they threw bonuses at us. They threw 3 bonuses throughout the length of the contract. Our contract's 4 years. They throw bonuses out there to make they tease you with that money, and they slide all the rest of that shit through the back door because they know we look at the money.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Eric, let's go ahead and get a rundown of week 5, brother.
That sounds good, man. It was a bad week for me. I know last week, I don't know how you guys picked or how you guys favored last week in the schedule, but didn't look good from my side last week. I thought some games were going to turn out a little bit differently. But hopefully this week coming up,
Hey, Herb, don't worry. It was all rigged anyway. You're okay.
It was all rigged, huh? But this week coming up, man, of course, you got Thursday Night Football as the computers go down in the studio. But Somebody have the schedule pulled up at all? No.
No, hold on. I know it's the Patriots and Bucks this weekend.
I got it.
This Thursday.
Yeah, this Thursday at 8:25, you got the Patriots in Tampa Bay playing, which is actually tomorrow. Hopefully, I mean, New England can come and pull it out. I know I said I'm going against Tom Brady, so that's why you guys never hear me really go against them. But they didn't play well last week at all. But I think New England can at least pull that game out in a prime time game.
Ass kick. They defense suck.
Yeah, but James ain't that damn good, man.
Doug Martin coming back. They running back.
Tampa Bay does look pretty good, but I still gotta have faith in New England. I mean, they're only 2-2 on the year, but I still gotta have faith in that team and Belichick as a coach. So I'm not gonna go against them. Sunday, the first game slated is Buffalo and Cincinnati. I think Buffalo's gonna take that. They're 3-1 on the year. Cincinnati's 1-3. Buffalo's looking really good. Surprising team there with Buffalo. You got New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. Of course, I think any of us that want to take Cleveland, we should be shot. Yeah, but New York Jets are going to end up being 3-2. Cleveland's looking for their first win on Sunday as well. Good game coming up. Carolina, Detroit, both of them 3-1 on the year. I don't know who to take. I probably need you guys' help on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Detroit.
You say Detroit?
Yeah.
I might have to go Detroit on that one. Carolina is starting to show their self a little bit, but I like Detroit. I like the team up there. I'm not used to really saying that. Another sorry game coming up: San Francisco, Indianapolis. I think Indy's going to get their second win. They're 1-3 on the year. San Fran is another winless team, 0-4.
I think San Francisco will beat them.
You think so?
Yeah, I thought so too. But I think Indy gonna beat them, cuz.
Yeah. I think Indy might take this one this time around. The game I'm actually looking for, you guys might be surprised, is Tennessee Miami. This game right here, two teams that I thought were starting to show a little bit of signs of success, and both of them are starting to let me down a little bit. Tennessee's 2-2 in the year. Miami's 1-2. Jay Cutler, how the coach say that he is who we said he was. So he's just a horrible player. It looks like to me down there. I think Chicago fans are happy that he's no longer in the city, and Miami's starting to hate the fact that they have him. So I'm gonna go for Tennessee in that game down there.
And Mariota hurt though, right?
Yeah, the hamstring.
Mariota is hurt. Yeah, he is hurt. But I still think Tennessee has enough firepower to go out there and win that game. The winless, we call this the toilet bowl game of the week. The Chargers versus the Giants. I don't think anybody really wanted to watch this game, and me being a Chargers fan, I certainly don't want to watch it. But I could hope that the Chargers come out with their first win against the Giants.
G-Man.
I would hope that's only wishful thinking. But I'm gonna have to go with my Chargers on this one, and I'm sure you guys will probably go opposite of me when it comes to this one. Philly, Arizona. I like Arizona, and I like Philly as well, but I think Philly's going to pull this one out.
Why you like Arizona?
I like Arizona. Arizona is a team. I believe that the culture is half of the battle when it comes down to a team, man. And they're only 2-2 in the year, and I can guarantee you the division that they're in is not the strongest. They're a team that's going to sneak into the playoffs, and they're most definitely always are a team that rallies in the second half. So that's why I like Arizona. But I think Philly's going to win that game, though.
But Arizona only 2 wins for the year against the 2 worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I get it, but I mean, sometimes it takes a little bit to get you better, you know.
Man, they finna get their ass whooped.
Yeah, I know they're gonna lose to Philly for sure, but I do like Arizona though. I do like Arizona.
I don't understand how their defense just got so bad.
They lost a lot of players.
They lost a lot. They lost a lot on the line as well, on the defensive line as well. They lost a lot of
players. Campbell,
Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. It's gonna be a good game, guys. Jacksonville.
I don't know, but
man, I I give this team so much hope all the time. I don't know how Pittsburgh is 3-1. They should really be probably 2-2 in the year because they should have lost to the Bears the first time that they played them. But this Jacksonville team, say again?
They did lose to the Bears.
Oh yeah, they did lose to the Bears. They lost to the Bears. What's the other game that they should have? They should have lost one other game. I can't remember what game it was. I'm sorry about that. Jacksonville. I'm gonna stick with Jacksonville when it comes down to this game here. I have the utmost respect for that team and how they changed their system around down in Jacksonville. Seattle and LA Rams. Seattle is not the team that they used to be, man. I think LA is going to win this game. They're 3-1 in the year. You have Baltimore. You
really think that?
Hey, CB, real talk. They've been beating Seattle at home at their home stadium for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Like the past 3 years, they didn't beat Seattle.
They sure have.
Damn.
And now they actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Rams is pretty good.
The defense is looking good. Yeah.
The Rams
the defense is good too.
I'm like, damn.
Who defense good?
LA. LA's defense is starting to show their face.
I know the offense.
Man, LA defense ain't shit. LA defense gave up 39 points to San Francisco. The worst team in the league.
No. Listen. They had some injuries on that line too. I mean, they got a great coach over there. They got a great defense. I believe they're gonna be all right.
I think that'd be okay. But shit, they gave up 39 to San Francisco and 30 to the Cowboys 2 weeks in a row. She.
You know, I'd like to see what Seattle be able to do though. Seattle can't move the ball that good.
I think they're gonna beat Seattle.
Baltimore. You think? Yeah, I think so too. Baltimore and Oakland. Man, Baltimore is a struggling team at the moment. To be 2-2, I think they're pretty lucky when it comes down to that. I like Oakland. In that game against the Ravens.
You like EJ Manuel to beat them?
Green Bay.
EJ Manuel not gonna beat Baltimore.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know about that.
Baltimore's defense is not how it used to be, man. I'll tell you that much. EJ Manuel, he's not. Listen, I think if you give him a full game at a full rep and he has a full week of practice, I believe he's going to be able to come out there and be successful. He's a game manager when it comes to NFL. Not far. I mean, you gave him a half of a game when he came, man, because he came in due to injury, but you gave him like a half a game. And I thought he did, once he got his feet settled, I thought he did okay. He still had a chance to win the game. The pass that he threw, I still don't think that it's, I don't think it was fully his fault because he threw the pass. I think in the NFL, you got to make that catch as a wide receiver. But that could be just me, just looking from the other side. Monday night quarterbacking, I guess you could say. But Green Bay and Dallas is the next game. That's the 4:25 game. This game, man, I really don't know. Green Bay 3-1, Dallas is 2-2. I would probably say I'm probably going to go with Dallas on this game. Green Bay is, they're a good team, but they're lacking.
Running back out hurt
for Green Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's back or not. I do know they have some.
Yeah.
I know they got some big injuries up front on their line, man. So that's why they suffer as well. And Dallas, I think Dallas is going to put up enough offense to win that game. But it should be a shootout though. KC and Houston, man. That's one game I tell you. Yeah, KC, man. They're looking good, but they sure revved it up against the Redskins, man. They put it out. I don't think they can wait as long to do it for other teams. If it wasn't the Redskins, I think they would have probably lost that game on the other day. But I think KC is going to do pretty well. I think they'll be the 5-0 team going into next week.
I tell you, them Chiefs, they know how to find a tight end, don't they?
Man, do they? Yeah, they sure do know how to do that. And then you got Minnesota and Chicago.
They did good on picking running backs, though. They always get a good running back and a tight end.
The one thing about it, man, is that you can see Andy Reid, man. He's just a coach that if one thing works for him, he's an old school type of coach.
Yeah.
If one thing works for him, man, he's not going to go away from it unless you stop it. I think a lot of the coaches in the league did that.
What was with Rockefeller? What was their running back name? Was it from Purdue or Penn State? What was that?
About Larry Johnson?
Larry Johnson, yeah. That motherfucker always kept them.
Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes.
Yeah, they always had a good running back, and then they usually have, like you said, they usually have a pretty good tight end down there as well.
Yeah.
But the one thing that they do have too now, man, is they're pretty solid when it comes to their wide receivers. When it comes even the defensive side, I think the defensive side, they safeties, they corners. I know they were missing a safety on the other night, but the cornerbacks are halfway decent. Got burnt a couple of times though. I don't think they had as much solid as the game as they wanted to, but I believe that this team, man, that's the team that's going to have a shot, not only in the playoffs, but going deep to go to a Super Bowl. So that's a team that you might want to watch out for when it comes down to it. But Monday Night Football, guys. Minnesota, Chicago.
Stop you there real quick. Andy Reid can get you there, but I can't see. He ain't never won the big one. That's all.
He hasn't. They never won the big one. You never win it till you win it.
No, he hasn't. Yeah.
He hasn't.
Say again?
Andy Reid's been in the league how long?
He's been in the league for a while, man. But I mean, you got to remember too. I think what Marty Schottenheimer was in the league for a while too. Never won one. So I mean, you get a lot of guys that get in there, they'll win it. I mean, winning the Super Bowl is halfway luck too, as well. I mean, it takes a lot to get there and manage the team. Some of the greatest coaches don't win it. I mean, it's just like some of the greatest players don't win Super Bowls or NBA championships. But it's going to be rough. But hopefully he gets there, and hopefully he can get his first one if he does. And the game, I know that you guys probably can't wait to see is the Chicago and Minnesota game on Monday Night Football, so you can see your primetime Bears play against Minnesota. What do you guys think?
I think it'll be a good game. Dalvin Cook out. Shut up, man. I'm talking. Dalvin Cook, the quarterback hurt. So, the Bears got defense and a run game. I don't think it's going to be that bad of a game.
You got to put up some offense, though. You got to put up some offense. How you think the new quarterback's going to do?
I think he's going to be all right. I mean, he got a week and a half to get ready.
Yeah, but what a hell of a game to come in and be your first game, right? It's a Monday Night Football, national television.
Blow them out or nothing. Minnesota don't have no offense.
It should be. To me, I think Minnesota should win this. Yeah, I think Minnesota should win this game pretty handily. But it's going to be interesting to see what the new quarterback does.
Quarterback or no running back now.
Defense is pretty good, though.
Yeah, they are.
Defense is pretty good. So it might be the challenges of the defense to see who can turn the ball over, who get the other team to turn the ball over, and see how many points they can score off of. It might be a battle of the kickers that night. You never know. So that's what it's going to come down to. That's a wrap up for Week 5, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd, as always. You in D.C. this week, huh?
I'm in D.C. Yes, sir.
Oh, cool. What's going on out there?
Nothing, man. Well, I came to visit the studios out here and came down and go say hi to you guys' beloved president. Tell him how much you guys love him. So that's what I'm gonna do.
You just missed him. He's in Vegas now.
Yeah, good for him. Say that much.
All right, cool. Let's get into this. All right, let's get into this. Our favorite part of the show. Tell me something, Joe.
Dirty headlines, nasty stories, freaky tales. It's time for the Dirt Sheets with Joe Dirt on Inside the Cave.
Joe, tell me something, CB.
You can't do it, huh? This story comes out of
my dirty playbook.
I don't know where it comes from, but Plastic surgery addict left with permanent erection after botched nose job. And I gotta post this picture of this guy. Hey, you gotta see this guy. A plastic surgery addict claims man, why the fuck you find this shit from, Joe? Hey, a plastic surgery addict claims a botched nose job has left him with a painful and permanent erection. Reality TV star, you guys might have heard of him, Nevin Siganovic, flew to Iran to have an operation to fix his crooked nose. But when the 45-year-old returned home to the Serbian capital, Belgrade, he began to suffer long-lasting erections. Wow.
I'm glad I didn't have to read this foolishness.
Oh man, I gotta pre-read this crap, man. All right, here we go. The Croatian stylist said, "I was in Iran for rhinoplasty for the documentary film that Channel 4 is filming covering my life. We did not record the surgery, but only the consultation sessions with the doctor. They gave me general anesthesia, and I reacted badly to it." Nevin said during his plastic surgery, doctors diagnosed him with the rare condition, priapism, a condition where men suffer painful erections that last for several hours. It's not necessarily related to sexual stimulation or excitement and won't disappear after orgasms. If the erection lasts longer than 4 hours, it's deemed a medical emergency. I always thought that means I'm the man. I got an erection. All right. That's an old joke. Everybody does that joke. You notice that everybody talks about that. All right. Permanent damage can be caused if it isn't treated quickly and can result in a man being unable to get an erection in the future. Or you can go blind. I heard that. The condition happens when blood rushes to the penis and is unable to flow out. Anything that affects the nervous system can trigger priapism. Joe. This shit is crazy, man. Do I have to continue reading this crap? Hey, you guys gotta see these pictures, man. Hey, that's why we gotta get this blog site back up, man. You guys gotta see these pictures, man. I'm not reading no more, man. I'll post it on our Facebook page. You guys can read the rest of it and follow this story. But a reality star has a 4-hour-long erection. Wow.
That's great.
Hey, Joe, how you feel? Hey, but y'all got to see these pictures, though. Seriously, you got to see these pictures. All right. Joe, how you find this stuff, man?
I can't give up my sources.
And this don't even seem like a reputable website. This is what Donald Trump calls fake news.
What you expect me? I ran to get motherfucking surgery.
Bioplasty surgery.
I don't care what it was. I don't care if they were just cutting his fingernails off. I ain't going to Iran to get no damn surgery.
All right, that was the Dirt Sheets.
The Dirt Sheets by Joe Dirt.
All right, hey everybody, make sure you go to cavecrushshop.com, get the latest shirts, latest Cave Crush gear, and Inside the Cave gear. And if nobody has anything else, Big Dog, get us out of here.
Hey, on behalf of the guys at Inside the Cave and the Cleves Report, we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week.
Please report up Monday on iTunes.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave now brings you the official store to get all things Cave Crush and Inside the Cave at cavecrushshop.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Cave Crush and like our Facebook page, Cave Crush Shop.
Inside the Cave.
Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. You're on the #1 show, Inside the Cave.
3 Lee Films.